Good day, learners! I am Miss Tin, your Guru Kamigo. Welcome to another fun and exciting learning with me. Our lesson for today is all about verbs. After going through this lesson, you are expected to compose clear and coherent sentences using aspects of verbs. Look at the following pictures: drink, listen, jump, sleep, smile, eat, run, wash, walk, laugh. As you notice, they are all examples of verbs. Verbs are action words. They are important in learning a language. They are always present in sentences and in most expressions. With the presence of both the subject and the predicate that contains a verb, a sentence expresses a complete thought or idea. As a vital feature of the English language, using appropriate verbs is necessary in composing clear and coherent sentences. Let us study the following sentences. Tita Joanna works hard to send her children in college. She worked as a waitress in a restaurant last year. She will work in a foreign country to support her children's education. Now, notice what the underlined words express. These words are known as verbs. They express actions that takes place in different periods such as present, past, and future tenses of verbs. Tenses of verbs are necessary to show the differences as to when actions occur or happen. A verb is composed of tense and aspect. A verb tense or the time event indicates past, present, and future actions. Meanwhile, verb aspect refers to the state of action of a verb and indicates the duration or completion of an event. There are 4 types of verb aspects. Number 1, simple aspect. Under this, we have letter A, the simple present tense, which is used to describe general truths and habitual actions. Remember, if the subject is singular, use the S form of a verb. If the subject is plural and or pronouns I and you, use the base form of a verb. Let us analyze the sentence below. The earth rotates around the sun. This sentence describes a general truth. That's why the verb should be in simple present tense. Also, it has a singular subject, earth, so we are going to use the S form of a verb. Delia walks to school every day. This sentence describes habitual action because of the word every day. That's why the verb should be in simple present tense. Also, it has a singular subject, Delia, so we are going to use the S form of a verb. They spend their vacation in Batanes every year. This sentence describes habitual action because of the word every year. That's why the verb should be in simple present tense. As you can see, the subject is plural, so we are going to use the base form of a verb. Under simple aspect, we also have letter B, the simple past tense, which is used to express an event or habitual action that was completed in the past. Let us study the example below. The children watched a documentary film. This sentence happened in the past. That's why we add the suffix ed to the verb. It rained almost every week last month. This sentence happened in the past because of the adverbial phrase last month. So just simply add ed to rain to form the simple past tense. In simple aspect, we also have letter C, the simple future tense, which is used to express an action or habitual action to take place in the future time. Use will or shall plus base form of a verb. They will celebrate the United Nations Day in October. This sentence shows something that haven't happened yet. That's why we use the simple future tense, will plus base form of a verb. The second type of verb aspects is progressive aspect. Under this, we have letter A, the present progressive, which expresses ongoing actions. Use be verb like is, are, plus ing form of a verb. Let us study this example. The students are taking the test now. This sentence describes an activity currently in progress because of the word now. That's why we formed present progressive verb are taking. As you can see, the subject is plural, students. The be verb must also be plural, that's why we use are. The teacher is preparing the lessons. This sentence shows an action that is happening now. So we formed present progressive verb is preparing. As you can see, the subject is singular, teacher. The be verb must also be singular. That's why we use is. Under progressive aspect, we also have letter B, the past progressive, which expresses an action in progress at some specific point of time in the past. Use be verb was where plus ing form of a verb. Let us study this example. Timmy was walking to the office at 7 o'clock this morning. This sentence describes an action that was in progress at a specific time in the past. It uses the time expression this morning. As you can see, the subject is singular, Timmy. That's why we also use the singular be verb was. The past progressive also expresses a past action simultaneous with another event. Let us study this example. They were preparing for the party when the visitors came. This sentence describes an action that started in the past and was interrupted by another action. As you can see, the subject is plural, they. So we use the plural be verb were. In progressive aspect, we also have letter C, the future progressive, which expresses an action that will be in progress at a specific time in the future. Use will or shall plus be plus ing form of a verb. Let us study this example. The grade 5 pupils will be attending a mass tomorrow. This sentence expresses future action that will occur over a period of time. The word tomorrow indicates time in the future. That's why we used will be attending. The third type of verb aspects is the perfect aspect. Under this, we have letter A, the present perfect, which expresses an action that began in the past and continues to the present time. Example: Sheila has been a Girl Scout since last year. This sentence describes an action that started in the past and is still continuing in the present time. As you notice, the subject Sheila is singular. That's why we used has. The present perfect also expresses a very recently completed action. Example: Berta has just baked cookies. I have called the plumber. These sentences describe an actions that were completed in the recent past. As you noticed in the first sentence, Berta is a singular subject. That's why we used has. The second sentence, the subject is a pronoun I, so we used have. Remember this, grade 5 learners. If the subject is singular, use has plus the past participle of a verb. If the subject is plural and or pronouns I and you, use have plus the past participle of a verb. In perfect aspect, we also have letter B, the past perfect, which is used to express an action that was completed before another action took place at some definite time in the past. Use had plus past participle of a verb. For example, some supporters had already left before they proclaimed the elected officers. Letter C, the future perfect, which expresses a future action that will be completed before a specific future time. Use will or shall plus have plus past participle of a verb. For example, I will have finished the school project before 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The fourth type of verb aspects is the perfect progressive. Under this, we have the present perfect progressive, which expresses an action in progress that is not yet completed or a situation or habit that began in the past and that continues up to the present. For example, number 1, Rowena has been reading that book. Number 2, I have been accomplishing the task in this module. Number 3, the athletes have been practicing. Remember this, grade 5 learners. If the subject is singular, use has plus been plus ing form of a verb. If the subject is plural and or pronouns I and you, use have plus been plus ing form of a verb. In perfect progressive, we also have letter B, the past perfect progressive, which expresses an action or habit taking place over a period of time in the past, before another past event or time. Use had plus been plus ing form of a verb. For example, number 1, Carla had been trying to finish her degree that year. Number 2, my father had been performing well, so the company gave him an award. The future perfect progressive expresses a habitual action that is taking place in the present and will continue in a specific future time. Use will or shall plus have plus been plus ing form of a verb. For example, number 1, next month the Bayanihan Dance Club will have been performing for 5 years. Number 2. Helen will have been teaching for 10 years next week. Let's have fun and do these activities. Learning Task 1. Write the correct form of the verb listen as indicated in the parentheses. Do this in your notebook. Number 1. I blank to bedtime stories every night. Simple present tense. Number 2. She blanked to the news yesterday. Simple past tense. Number 3. Yang blanked to her newly downloaded songs tonight. Simple future tense. Number 4. Willie blanked to the voice clip before the battery of his gadget completely drained. Past perfect tense. Number 5. We blanked to the instructions while doing the activities. Past progressive tense. It's now time to check your answers. Number 1. If you answer listen, you are correct. Number 2. The answer is listened. Number 3. If you write will listen, you've got it right. Number 4. The answer is had listened. And number 5. Were listening is the correct answer. Learning Task 2. Identify the appropriate simple present tense of the verb to be used in each item. Write your answers in your notebook. Number 1. Water is a resource that every living thing cannot live without. Very good. The answer is. Number 2. I thinks about the importance of water in our daily activities. Perfect. The answer is think. Number 3. The learners answers the questions about water conservation. Perfect. The answer is answer. Number 4. Teacher Mara convinces the children to save water at home and in school. Good job. The answer is convinces. Number 5. The Science Club proposes a water conservation program for the school. Perfect. The answer is proposes. Number 6. Every Filipino does his/her share of serving his/her country. Very good. The answer is does. Number 7. Each scouting organization teaches the youth to be obedient and responsible. Perfect. The answer is teaches. Number 8. Rolly cleans his surroundings. Great job! The answer is cleans. Number 9. Jose and Lina segregates their household wastes. Very good. The answer is segregate. Number 10. Aquino family manages the finances well. Very good. The answer is manages. Learning Task 3. Identify the appropriate simple past tense of the verb to be used in each item. Write your answers in your notebook. Number 1. The tourists went to Palawan last month. Number 2. She heard about its beautiful spots through ads. Number 3. I remember my trip to Palawan 5 years ago. Number 4. That is my first and only airplane ride so far. Number 5. We have a 3-day tour in that place. Number 6. Rhea decided to apply for a job in the city last week. Number 7. She works in a factory for 3 years. Number 8. The trip happens a month ago. Number 9. The hen sits on its eggs until they hatched. Number 10. My grandparents drinks the hot tea that I made for them. Time to check your answers. Number 1. The correct answer is went. Number 2. If you answer heard, you are right. Number 3. The correct answer is remembered. Number 4. Was is the correct answer. Number 5. If you answer had, perfect. Number 6. If your answer is decided, you are correct. Number 7. Worked is the correct answer. Number 8. If you answer happened, perfect. Number 9. If you answer sat, you are correct. Number 10. Drunk is the correct answer. Learning Task 4. Write the simple future tense of each given verb inside the parentheses. Do this in your notebook. Number 1. As responsible members of the community, we participate in the cleanup drive and tree planting activities to be organized this coming year. Very good. The correct answer is will participate. Number 2. Environmental problems continue to affect us for several years if we will not take any actions. Perfect. The answer is will continue. Number 3. Researching on these environmental acts of rehabilitation blank help in managing different wastes at home, in school, and in the community where you belong. Perfect. The answer is will help. Number 4. As soon as possible, I blank start my own initiatives to take part on these eco-drives. Very good. The answer is will start. Number 5. For your participation, you blank promote various campaigns on environmental care and rehabilitation starting tomorrow. Good job! The answer is will promote. Learning Task 5. Copy the table in your notebook. Then, identify the forms of the verbs study and prepare, using the aspects of verbs indicated in column 1. Be guided by the example in column 2. Time to check your answers. Simple present. Study, studies. Prepare, prepares. Simple past. Studied, prepared. Simple future. Will study, will prepare. Present progressive. Is are studying. Is are preparing. Past progressive. Was were studying. Was were preparing. Future progressive. Will be studying. Will be preparing. Present perfect. Has have studied. Has have prepared. Past perfect. Had studied. Had prepared. Future perfect. Will have studied. Will have prepared. Present perfect progressive. Has have been studying. Has have been preparing. Past perfect progressive. Had been studying. Had been preparing. Future perfect progressive. Will have been studying. Will have been preparing. Learning Task 6. Compose clear and coherent sentences using the given verbs and their aspects. Write your sentences in your notebook. Possible answers. Number 1. She will create a birthday card for her mother. Number 2. I am believing in you because you are my friend. Number 3. Some parents had decided before they answered the survey. Number 4. I have been studying since I was a child. Number 5. Chef RV prepared a delicious meal for his mother. To check your understanding about the lesson, answer this activity. Complete the paragraphs below by supplying the missing words. Select your answers from the box. Write them in your notebook. Time to check your answers. Number 1. Verb is the correct answer. Number 2. If your answer is tense, you are right. Number 3. The answer is aspect. Number 4. The correct answer is simple. Number 5. Perfect. Number 6. Progressive. For the final part of this video lesson, in your notebook, write your personal insights about the lesson using the prompts below. That's the end of our lesson. I hope you'd learned something new today. Till next time, bye!